Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tarani. Thanks for watching us today. We're coming to you from San Jose. On our program is Grant Shirk, who's the Director of Industry Solutions at Microsoft's Tellme. Hello, Grant.
Hi, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being on our program.
I appreciate it. It's great.
Well, your company doesn't need an introduction, neither one. Tellme is like a mainstay of the Valley. I've been visiting the company for about 10 years. And, of course, Microsoft, so two well-known names, but still, I was wondering if you could just give us an overview of what's happening lately at Tellme.
Yeah, sure. So around the core team at Tellme, which is based in Mountain View, what we've at Microsoft done is combine that with all of the rich investments in speech technology, both recognition and generation, that Microsoft has been working on for the past 15 years to create a speech group within Microsoft.
Oh, I see. So kind of bringing all of the needs for speech across the applications and tying that together with Tellme's core competency and technology?
Exactly. So, the two things I think that Tellme is exceptional at, one is with the speech component, and the second is operating a on-demand or network-based service out in the cloud. And so being able to build a lot of technology around that helps Microsoft then reinforce its conviction to what we call the natural user interface. So you think about the three, it would be speech with Tellme, touch along the lines of Microsoft Surface, and then gesture with Xbox Connect as a way to unlock the power of devices.
Makes a lot of sense, and now that's part of the business, but speech is also being used in the traditional world of the telephone where companies are leveraging and deploying speech systems to reduce costs. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to know, how is that evolving into becoming strategic? In other words, how is a company looking at speech one day and saying, okay, I'm going to use it to reduce costs, and then another day saying, this is actually something strategic that I'm integrating into my corporation to increase revenue or productivity?
Yeah, absolutely. Helping companies communicate well with their customers is still one of our key scenarios for speech. And when you think about the contact center specifically, there are two things that really come to mind for me. The first is that the telephone is really a company's front door. They're speaking with thousands of their customers every day, and they want to provide experiences that are proactive, personalized, and proactive, helping turn something that might be an escalation about a problem into an opportunity to re-engage with the customer and really provide them with an exceptional experience. And so with Tellme, on the Tellme platform, when you're looking at inbound phone calls, personalizing them, making them really, really rich to help people solve problems as quickly as efficiently as possible. And then also using the outbound capabilities of the platform to reach out in a proactive way to solve a problem before it becomes a problem, helping companies really unlock the power of having the customer's ear every time they get them on the phone. The second thing is that the contact center is a huge wealth of data about how well your products are doing, how well your customers perceive you, and what problems they might be having that they need your help to solve. So to that end, we very recently rolled out Tellme Platform Central, which is a rich set of management and analysis tools for speech within the contact center that helps companies understand what are the tasks that people are trying to complete, where they're being successful, where they're not being successful, and ultimately driving those insights into action for the companies to fix those problems and drive that up to business metrics that can ultimately roll out across the rest of the business.
Wow, so it's evolved a long way.
It certainly has. We've learned a lot. We answered almost 2.5 billion phone calls a year for our corporate clients alone. And a lot of that rich data has been a very valuable asset, both for us on the speech side and for them as service providers.
Sure, and there's directory assistance as well that you've been doing.
A lot of local search, yeah. And if you think about taking what we've done in directory assistance, where about 70% of the people in the United States have used a Tellme-driven service when they've looked for a local business or a restaurant, and then bring in Microsoft assets around Bing. We power Bing for mobile and Bing 411 to bring together the power of speech plus search.
So it's really interesting as things come full circle in tech. I remember when your company first came to my offices when they first launched, and they got tons of funding, and it was right around the dot-com days, probably before. I'm assuming it was right before the bubble time, maybe 2000 or
Yep.
so. When were you founded? 2000?
We were founded in 1999.
99, so it was pre-bubble. But the concept then was voice portal, and it was all about advertising. There were billboards advertising the Tellme phone number and trying to get consumers to drive adoption. And then I guess you went away to directory assistance, and you went to corporate, and now it seems like we're coming full circle again back to portal and search, right? Isn't that what seems to be happening?
Well, there are a couple things happening. We still have a very strong focus on both. And what we've learned is that when you have speech out in the cloud, in the network, you can start amassing a lot of capabilities and insights about the way people want to interact with information, whether they're talking to a business or they're trying to get the sports score from their car in a Ford Sync product. And they also tend to reinforce each other. So as we learn something about the way people interact with businesses, we uncover new tasks that people are trying to complete, and those can very quickly be rolled out by us or one of our partners into a consumer-focused scenario around Bing, around Ford Sync, around a mobile phone.
Now, speaking of mobile phones, how important is it to Microsoft or to your area of Microsoft, Tellme, to have Microsoft be extremely dominant with devices or mobile OSs?
Well, we know the 3 screens in the cloud strategy with Microsoft, being able to enable experiences across numbers of devices using cloud services. One of the things that's very important to us with speech is not just driving speech broadly across usage scenarios, but really deeply into an experience. So if you think about what you can do with Bing Mobile, the ability to, on a device, have a very rich search experience and a very successful search experience that works the same way in any device because all of those services are out in the cloud. It's an incredibly powerful proposition for end users.
Now, you're obviously espousing a cloud point of view. That's something Tellme's done. I mean, again, you should get a lot of credit for this, your company, for being early to, or one of the first companies, at least in cloud-based IVR, I guess if I can use that term.
Sure.
What are you seeing now with all this hype about cloud, and a lot of it's real. I mean, it's not just hype, but it's actually real adoption of the cloud. Compared to, let's say, a CPE product, what are customers telling you in terms of choosing cloud-based speech versus
Sure.
CPE?
Mm-hmm. We've been working with our customers on this exact problem for over 10 years now. Traditionally, there were 2 ways to deploy speech in the enterprise or for a product. One was embedded into a device, and the other was on a server, where you're still kind of dealing with fixed capacity and fixed computational power. When Tellme and Microsoft have moved this out into the cloud, what it does is it opens up a lot of computational power and flexibility, a lot more reliability, and the ability to deliver that consistent experience we talked about across any device that has a connection. What it really does is enable us to unify these experiences in a way that's predictable and higher performance, more successful. That's one of the biggest reasons that a lot of our enterprise clients have chosen us, is because with a cloud service, you as a company can focus on your core competencies, what you're good at. If you're a bank, you focus on banking, providing the highest quality of service to your customers. If you're an airline, managing itineraries, getting people to where they need to be as efficiently as possible. And then these resources that you're drawing on to do it, be it the connectivity into the carriers to drive the telephony platform, and make sure it's always there to answer that phone no matter who's calling, and also to make sure that your speech and your applications are continually getting better over time without you having to invest in those resources yourselves. You're really taking advantage of, a rising tide raises all boats.
It's great. So we've got about 30 seconds left. What's
Sure.
next for the company?
What's next for Microsoft and Tellme is taking the assets that we have, which are really unique in the industry around speech and language understanding, and bringing them to not just handle structured requests, but unstructured speech tasks, helping people solve problems as efficiently and easily as possible every day from any device.
Fantastic. Thanks for being on the program.
I really appreciate it.
Great
Thank
to
you.
see you.